Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So thank you so much to everyone that voted for our next Karolina Kubikowska colour along, and as you can see, the other side of the dream won. I have emailed Karolina's team to see when the books will be restocked, and on her Facebook group she's announced that they are just awaiting stock, so it's only a matter of time. Just keep popping over and checking. Again, I'll put the link down below for you to go directly to her website. And just one little goodie before we get started. If you're part of Karolina's Facebook group, you'll have seen this, but if you're not, she started to post free images for us to colour, and she just asks that if you colour them, that you share them with her either on Instagram or on her Facebook group. And this was one of her latest colour alongs. Isn't it adorable? Not colour alongs, free pictures. It's so adorable. So I had, of course, to print that off, and I'm going to have a go at that at some point. It's beautiful. Anyway, let's get to our... I'll put a link to her Facebook group as well down below, so that you just got to click it and go. Right, so I have chosen, I've been through this book with a fine-tooth comb, and I have chosen this page. I think with all the black that we can make his eyes really pop, and that's what I'm hoping in our colour along. So what I'm thinking of doing at the moment is a base of using the little palette that I've just got from Derwent, the pastel shades. I've just done a review on that. I'll put a link up here for you to go and have a look. It's only like 8 minutes long, but this gorgeous shade here I think will give us a beautiful base on some of his feathers, and then we of course go in with pencil, and I'm thinking ink tents, so that we get some ink tents too, so that we can get that intense colour that we want. I've got a scrap piece of paper here, this is watercolour paper, and I'm really hoping, this is very thick cardstock but not like her other books, so I'm just hoping that when we put the base down that it doesn't come through onto this side. However, this is a kind of splatty loose page, so if it does, I'm hoping that I'd be able to cover it. So the colour in here is called Storm Grey on this little palette, and now I've got to find my water brush, which is here. Yeah, so Storm Grey, which is this one. So I'm going to pick some up and put it on my palette. I don't want it to come out too dark, and these activate, as you can see. I've just literally touched it, so I'm just going to try it on here. I'm scared, people. It's a gorgeous colour, and obviously will dry a little bit lighter. So I'm going to try and keep round his beak this bit pale, because we're going to go in with a paler grey, but round here I'm going to put this should I say Storm Grey? Yeah, Storm Grey. So let's come in and let's be scared together. So I am going to, let's start in the darkest bit here and then bring it out. So these are the new pastel shades, and Derwent say they are complementary to their ink tents range. So once they're down, they won't reactivate, which is really great if you want to do layering, which I do because I'm scared. So I'm coming up, bringing it round here, and then we're going to put the detail in with pencils, because I'm not the most accomplished watercolourist, but I do like using it as a base. Can you see everything? So I'm just going around here, and I might need to be brave and put a little bit more colour in there. And I am going to let it absolutely bone dry in between each layer, because I do not want to destroy this beautiful book. Yeah, so if you've been after these and haven't been able to get them, Karolina's team are just waiting for delivery of new stock, so just keep popping over and checking. because I'm waiting on the rest of the postcards to come back in stock. Okay, where else do I want dark? I want it, those bits left white, I want this bit grey. It's a beautiful, like, perfect tawny grey colour that we need for this owl. And I want to keep him quite subtle so that those eyes pop out at us. That's the plan anyway. So I'm going to leave that white under there, around his nose, or his beak rather. I might put a little bit of this around his beak, just a bit, let it come out. Can you see how, well, you couldn't, but I just literally touched the paint and it activates immediately. It's incredible stuff. So a little bit around there. So I'm now going to, you know, I'm going to fall in love with Derwent paints as well. They're going to be my next assignment. Okay. So I think I'm going to put a little bit down here. Can you see? Right. If I move everything up, is it all going to crash off my desk? Most likely. So I'm still colouring in my posh colouring book. The little, I think they're cardinal birds that I was colouring. And so I'm surrounded by the gorgeousness that is Derwent. Okay, yeah, so we've got that in there, a little bit down there. Okay. Right, I've got a bit of kitchen towel. I'm just going to clean my brush off and wipe my palette. I can't stand it when I know that they're going to get messy, but I can't stand it. My new stuff getting all dirty. Okay, I want to leave that to completely dry. Let's have a look at the other side of the page. Let's have a look. Let's move you out slightly. Please, please, fingers crossed it hasn't gone through. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Look at that. Nothing. No bleed through whatsoever. And no crinkling. But I know I've only used a little bit of water. So, my plan is my Caran d'Ache palette, because I do put Inktense straight down, but with this it's a bit scary. I want a really vivid yellow. So with the Inktense, I'm going to pick a really, really vivid yellow that we can then deepen up. And the brightest one that I can see is golden yellow. So I'm scared. I was going to use the palette, but do I just go straight on? What do you think? Let's do it. Okay, I'm just going to sharpen this little beauty slightly. Okay, so this is golden yellow from the Inktense. Is it golden yellow, or have I picked the wrong one? Yes, I've picked the wrong one. Sorry. Hang on. It's a good job I checked, wasn't it? Golden yellow. This one. Sorry. I want golden yellow. Yes, because I think that'll give us the nice sort of bright yellow that is intense with... Yeah, so I think we'll do cadmium yellow too. So if I do... very carefully. If I do the golden yellow at the top, I'm just literally just touching the page, because I can always go back and deepen it up later, but I won't be able to remove it. So cadmium yellow now. Let's come in, you can't see. Here we go. Cadmium yellow. I'm going to go over that. I want them really intense, and pencils will help us do that. So back to the golden yellow, and we'll do this eye. So I'm going to pick the dark out at the top there, and then I'm going to put in a mix of, hang on a minute, golden yellow, sorry, cadmium yellow at the bottom. And then we can intensify that even more should we need to. Okay, so that's our 2 Inktense pencils. Let's do the scary bit. Okay, just making sure I've got no grey left on there. Okay, you ready, folks? So I'm going to go in with the lightest and push that colour into the darkest. And it's not going to look much right now, but it will. I'm just going to make sure that's all activated so that I can put pencil with it. And I might want to do another layer. I might want some more of that orange colour. Okay. Right, now we're going to have to consider, I've got to try and find a space to put my Inktense down. We need to consider these leaves. So, I don't want them to be incredibly bright. I want them to be pushed back so that his eyes are standing out. So I think I'm going to go in with beach green, if I can find it. I've got them in a little tiny 72 case here, so I'm looking for beach green, which is a beautiful colour. So I'm going to use beach green, and I'm going to use Ionian green. I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure, so I'm sorry if I've mispronounced it. So I've got beach green will be our lightest, and then I'll go back in with Ionian green. Alright, so, oh, please don't let me spoil this lovely book. Okay, so this is beach green, will come in while we're waiting for everything else to dry. Beach green, and I'm going to fill all the leaf and let it dry, because then I can see where I want to put more shade in. So do you know what, guys, I haven't even touched my new light fast pencils because I wanted to swatch them with you, and I'm getting itchy. You must play with them. Okay, so that was our beach green. We're going to activate that. I'm going to get my tissue at hand. I don't want the page too wet, so I'm just going to activate that. This paper is doing extremely well. So I'm pushing the colour down from the top so that the most intense part of that leaf is at the bottom. I'm getting braver, aren't I, with my Inktense? I didn't dare use them because they're permanent, but actually it's a bit of a blessing when you can layer them all up. And having the right quality paper to do it, and these books are just incredible. If she had another 100 books, I'd be over there. I'd probably have to take a mortgage out because I'd want them and I'd want to keep them. So I'm going to do all the leaves like that, and I know they look really bright right now, but they will tone down when they're dry. Let's just check again. Look, no bleed through. Hang on. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. This paper is uber fantastic. Okay, we're going to come out. What I am going to do is I'm going to go off and I'm going to colour every leaf, apart from the black ones, every leaf in this beach green, so that when we come back we can layer up. I'm going to let him completely dry. He's not far off. Let the page completely dry, because like I say, if we carry on we are going to pill the paper. So yeah, I'm going to go off, do that, and then we'll meet back up and we will carry on. See you in a second. Okay, so I've coloured those leaves in the beach green that we mentioned, and everything's completely dry, nothing's bled through. I did put a little clip there just while the page was drying to stop any crinkling that might happen, but it hasn't, so I'm very impressed. I'm not happy with the eyes. I want to put that. I want more intensity in there. So I have picked. Where are you? There you are. Come on, camera. Cadmium orange, which is a really bright, beautiful colour in the Inktense range, and I'm going to introduce that in the top of the eye. I want more intensity in there. So this is a really bright, beautiful colour, and this is exactly what I want for these eyes. Real intensity. And we can even go back in with pencils if necessary. Right, let's activate that. There we go. Just not coming out as bright as I want them to. Let's clean my brush off. They will. We'll do some pencil work over the top and they will lift out. Okay, let that dry. If I move my... I've got so much stuff going on. All these projects I've got going. Okay, if I move you over to this set of leaves, they are completely dry. We used the beach green. I'm just going to sharpen the one I can't say. This is Ionian green. I think that's how you say it. And I'm just going to put a little bit more depth in the places that I feel needs it. So I'm hardly pressing. And where do I want it? Let's do this one, this will be easier. So I'm going to bring that deep bit up there. I'm actually barely pressing. They are so intense, as the name suggests, that you need barely any colour. And that's quite a learning curve it's been for me. You know, they're very different, very definitely need swatches of these, because they're very different when activated. As you're probably all aware, and it's just me catching up now. So I'm going to put a little bit more depth up there. A little bit in there. Let's try that, let's see what happens. Where's my brush? Oh, for goodness sake, Lucy, they're right in front of me. Right. Oh, I was challenged. So while I'm activating this, I'll let you know, I was challenged by my lovely friend and subscriber, Angela, who has been following me almost since day one. And she has challenged me in my video to try and not call myself horrible names like klutz and clumsy and all the rest of it that I do, and to try and be nice to myself. So I told her the challenge was accepted. So in this video, that is exactly what I'm going to try and do. So let's hope and pray that it turns out the page how I want it to. Then I won't have to say any of those things that I normally say. So thank you, Angela. Duly noted. I am very hard on myself. Okay. But look at the lovely colouring I'm producing today. Is that better? I hope so. Okay. Yeah, I quite like that. So we're going to do this one together as well. So I'm going to take that. That's beach. I'm going to take Ionian green again. And we're going to put that depth of colour that I want in there. So unless I introduce some pencil, I'm not going to mess with these leaves too much. I just want that beautiful colour showing through against Karolina's lovely dark lines. There we go. So very simple, but I find it much more successful for me if I allow layers in between and keep cleaning my brush off. so that I'm not dragging too much ink into places that I don't want it. And I'm doing more activating where the pencil, I've actually put it down than trying to drag it, so that we don't get sort of the lines, but we still get that sort of watery look, which is really pretty. There, I like that. I really like it. I think that's cool. Okay, now I'm going to have to try and select a colour for this branch, and I want to do pencil work, so I don't want this dark. I want it, the lightest colour, to be the Inktense that we're using, so I've got a choice of saddle brown or the tan, and I am thinking saddle brown. Here we are, saddle brown. So that's what I'm thinking to colour these branches. Let me bring you up, make sure you get a good shot. Saddle brown. Okay. Ooh. Okay, because I don't want, he's going to be greys, warm greys, and I want this tree to be different to him, but again not taken away from him. So I'm going to put this saddle brown in. And then we can darken it up with pencil. So like I said, I'm barely touching the page. I'm just literally putting a really light coat of Inktense down because it is so intense. Putting a little bit more in the darker areas. Like there. And then just lessen the pressure off. Been a real revelation, all these beautiful water mediums that we have. A bit more there. Going there. And being brave enough to use them, especially in gorgeous books like this. Right, let's activate the tree. Okay, right, I'm going to do the lightest parts first. So I'm going to activate that. It's a beautiful subtle brown, this saddle brown. Wipe my brush off. Okay, now I'm going to activate that dark bit. I don't know, it just seems to work for me that I do layering in this way with Inktense, and which is what is so lovely about them, is go in subtle, build up that depth that you want, and it's just being patient, just letting it completely dry in between. That deep colour there. I mean, it looks like there's no colour on the page, and then when you activate it, look at the difference. They're just incredible. Right, so I've activated the dark side there. So I'll clear my brush off and then get the rest of the light going. There we are. Can you see that? Looks like nothing's on the page, and then all of a sudden there's this pop of colour, like magic. My dark bit there. Aren't they clever? I've missed a little branch, a couple of little branches. There's one here, look, so I'm just going to touch that colour in a little bit here. I'm not going to put too much of the Inktense there because I'm shaky. I'd rather do it with pencil and be able to erase it if I go wrong. Okay. Excuse me. That was real concentration there, people. Okay, and we've got another part up here, so we're going to have it darker there, and then darker on this side. And then really lightly there. Let's activate that. Okay, I'm going to do the light side, light bits first. Cleaning off my brush in between, and now we'll do the dark bits. Just feels like I have a little bit more control if I do it that way. And you're not dragging the really dark, intense colour that you want into that light. We are. Spread that out a bit. There. Okay. So we've now got some leaves. The branches going. We've just got to finish adding the Ionian green to our leaves for the depth, and then they will be finished. So I'm going to go off and do the rest of the leaves exactly the same as you saw. Let the page dry and we'll come back and we'll get on with the owl himself. See you in a second. Okay, so the leaves have now got a little bit more depth on it and everything's completely dry. So I've pulled out my beautiful Derwent Pro colours because they keep a point nicely. And I don't want to, I know this is ridiculous, but I don't want to use my new light fast ones until I've swatched them with you. So let's come in. I've got these pencils here in the hope that we can intensify his eyes even more. So I've got the really bright Spectrum Orange, Buttercup Yellow and Deep Chrome of the Pro colours. So I'm going to take the Spectrum Orange and we are going to put this at the top. I'm going to intensify that. Round here is going to be really black, so they should really pop off the page. So that's the Spectrum Orange. Beautiful colour, isn't it? Okay, then we're going to go in with Deep Chrome. Now already I'm looking in the viewfinder and they're looking much more like I wanted them to look. Really intense. Then we add that beautiful black outline around them, they're going to pop off the page. Buttercup Yellow. And we're going to get my thumb out of the way and we're going to blend all that in together. How am I doing, Angela? Am I being much kinder to myself? Am I meeting your challenge? Which was a very good challenge, I must say. So, there we go. We're going to do the other eye the same. So putting this really intense orange at the top. This is our Spectrum Orange. Oh, I've gone over the line. Where is my... Give me a second. Aha! This was Happy Mail too, ages ago, AFMAT. And I have not used anything since. It is the most incredible eraser. There we go. Watch that disappear. Gone. It's brilliant. Oh, I'm so disorganised, people. Apologies. I'm trying to find, there we go. I'm trying to find my Boots makeup brush to sweep those away. There we go. Alright, back in with our Spectrum Orange. I'll bring that colour out. Okay, and then in with our Deep Chrome. And they're beginning to look more like I wanted, more like that intense. Do they kind of match? Do we need a little bit more of that dark up here? And then when we put the black around them, they're just gonna say, hello, here I am, right in your face. That's the hope anyway. Okay, so I'm going to leave those alone until we've put more black on. Then I've got a bunch of greys, a whole bunch of greys and browns to do this owl. And I've got a little owl face up that is staring at me. And we're going to start to put this detail in. So I think I'm going to probably start with all the greys. So let me pull those out. And then we're going to add the, oh, there's a bit of black there. Then we're going to add these delicious brown and an ochre in once we've done these. So I've got ivory black 71, gunmetal 67 and storm grey 68. So they're kind of warms, but I want to intensify the black on the page. So this is just black. I'm just seeing how it works over Karolina's. Yeah, and that works really well. Okay, I want to do, let's try doing the black in the centre of that eye. That looks good. And I want to fill this up, but I'm scared. But it's the only way. I mean, I've got this picture up and this is what they look like. Let's go for it. We can always intensify it with some kind of black marker. But I just want to see what it's going to look like. There we go. That's the kind of look I wanted. I'm just trying to round that off. So this bit will all be black, and I might even deepen that up further with like a Posca or something, so it really stands off. So that's the kind of look I wanted. Bit of a wobbly line there because of my hand, but I like it. Yeah, that's going to look good. Okay, so we'd have to do this one too. Like I say, I may go over this to even deepen that black. I think we'll have to for the look I wanted. And this will be greys round here. There we go. They look like little beacons, don't they? Beacons of light. Okay, so now I've got gunmetal and storm grey. Obviously gunmetal is our darkest. So I'm going to take the light one, which is storm grey, and let's fill in round his nose because that's going to be fairly black. So I'm really not going to do too much other than just add to the texture, and then we'll deepen up any areas that need to be real black, which is going to look amazing. So I'm just going to bring out that texture here. It's a lovely warm grey. And I'm not going to worry too much about going over the black and dulling it, because like I say, we will go back over that. And those eyes are going to bug me. I'm going to have to try a Posca or something. So these are the lighter areas that we did earlier on with that beautiful Derwent paint, and the pencils are going over it beautifully. So we're going to have this soft grey round here. There. And then where there's pale bits, they're going to be this beautiful soft, what did I say, it was storm grey. We'll add other colours to it, maybe. But I'm really liking how those eyes are popping, which is exactly what I wanted. So this is our lightest bit, and I'm literally just colouring it in with this storm grey because Karolina's done all the work for us here. And I'm going to try and keep in the direction that she's given us. My lines. And it's a subtle colour, but when we add other colours into it, we should notice it better. Okay. Let's take a step back for a second. What do I need? Okay. Underneath here, there is some white, so I'm not going to mess about. I'm going to sharpen my Prisma. Okay, so I want some more white here. So we're going to add that in, just lighten some of those spaces. I want to keep that bit white, so I'm just going to go over it to stop me going too dark when I put the black on. And then above his eyes here, that's quite light too, which is moving that pro colour beautifully, look. They almost look like cat's eyes, don't they? The way they've been drawn. So clever. Right. Okay, we've got the darker grey now. Let's see how this gunmetal works. So we're going to start flicking that in. And I'm not trying to be uber clever with this picture. I am going to follow Karolina's work because she's done such a beautiful job of these drawings that they really don't need that much work. We're going to put more colour in, like I say, but I want to get these greys in to complement her dark colours. So they really do stand out, those eyes. I don't know why they're bugging me. I think, I don't know whether it's the black that I've put on there, I'm not sure. But we'll fix it, folks, we'll fix it, it'll be okay. So I'm just using this, what did I say? Gunmetal, it's a lovely grey. In these darker areas, bringing that out. And then what we will do is start introducing some browns and ochres, bringing him to life. So they won't be well, I wanted them stark, didn't I? They are stark, that's what I wanted, it's what I've got. But I will neaten them up with some black, because they're looking scruffy. He's coming to life already, isn't he? Very little work. But here he comes. And these Pro Colours are loving this paper. I don't know if it's because I've painted over it, but they're responding beautifully to this paper. I don't know if it's because I've painted over it. There we go. A bit more up here. Oh, bear with me 2 minutes. Sorry about that. That was my dad and his little doggy coming to visit me. So I erased the black round his eyes because I hated it. And I've made the eyes bigger just by adding the same colours and bringing them out, and I've gone round with black Prisma. And I'm happier with it now than I was. So there we go. So I'm still going in with this gunmetal to bring out from that dark black area. And then we're going to introduce some browns, and I think it's going to be awesome. Right, I'm going back to my owl face picture, and let's start with, we've got brown ochre. So this is quite light in comparison to the other colours that we can put in. So I want to put some of this brown ochre in here. And I might introduce a little bit of that around his eyes. It's not liking going over that Prisma too much. A little bit around there. There, and we'll carry on flicking this in, and then those little spots can be really deepened up. And any of the really dark areas, I've got some gorgeous like chocolates browns from this set. So here we'll have some of this ochre blending into that grey. It'd be a nice addition. Start bringing him to life and giving him a bit of a more of a rounded face appearance instead of it being quite flat. So I'm not flicking here, I'm just filling it in because, like I say, Karolina's work does that for us. So make sure you're in shot. There we go. Yes, Dad came in with his little dog Ted. He's so gorgeous. So we had a bit of a play with one of my Lily's old balls and a cuddle, which is very nice. And then off they went merrily up the road. So that bit's very white round there, so I'm not going to introduce brown there. But I'm just going to blend all these colours in to start to bring him to life. Oh, you couldn't see, I'm so sorry. I did a little bit down here. Let me move the book up a bit. So where I've come in with those dark greys, we'll go over these, so don't worry about toning down the black. I'll be careful there because that's almost a perfect match to that colour we put down there. Okay, a bit more here, and then we'll do some coming out here. From that dark bit there. He's got two little ear holes here, look. We'll put some of that up there. Okay, so that was brown ochre. Now we're going to start to go darker. So we've got Van Dyke brown. So I'm going to flick that in the darkest areas and let it come out slightly. And I probably won't do too much, going back to that brown ochre, I probably won't do too much more in that little bit on his forehead, because I want to put those speckles in with our darkest pencils. So this is Van Dyke brown, and this is just going to give it a little bit more interest so he's not so flat. We're going to come round here. I might have to come out a little bit, folks, because I keep losing you. I do apologise. Steady the camera. I'll put some of that in his head here. And here. And allow that to come out on that beautiful Derwent grey that we used. A bit dark around there. And I'm just kind of filling these areas in so we get all those different colours. And hopefully he'll work out really well. A bit around that eye. And I'm going to put some brown in around that eye too. Okay, keep going. Just layering up all these gorgeous browns that we've got in this set. What I like about the colours in this set is when they say brown, they are brown. They're not too red. You know, you get some sets that say brown and then they come out really red. This set has what I call proper true browns. Going to start to establish some of these dark areas with our browns. Now around the beak is really dark, so I'm going to leave that. Move him up. We're going to bring this gorgeous colour down, and we've got chocolates and oh, we've got some beautiful browns to bring in. But as you can see, it's not going to take that long. You just got to layer it up and just keep going until you're happy, really. So a variety of browns that add. I'm going to go back to that brown ochre that we used and put some in here. I like that, that's nice. And around his beak. Let those meet. Okay, right, what else have we got? Okay, we're getting darker. We've now got this beautiful colour, Copper Beech. And we're going to come out from the darkest spaces again and introduce some of that. This is quite a different brown, it's a beautiful colour. So, I'm going to bring that again from the dark into those lights that we've put down. Come under here with it. And around here. I'm going to go back to those two colours that we have over here and put those back in. So this is Van Dyke brown. It's quite dark around there. Put in there. And then the lightest colour again, which is brown ochre. more. Some more up here. So I'm taking my Copper Beech and we're going to put it in up here. I'm just flicking it in. So any like white spaces, that'll be good round his eye too. A little bit around there. Any like white spaces I'm filling in. And then it'll give us a nice wax base. And when we go to introduce the other colours, the even deeper colours, we've got a nice wax base for them to blend on top of. This is so much fun because everything's responding so well in this book. I'm going to put start putting some of these dark dots in, deepen that. He's coming, folks, he's coming. He's getting character now. Okay, now we're going to go into our really darks, which is the right chocolate. Gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Okay, 58 chocolate. Okay, I'm going to put some of these dark markings in with the chocolate. Really emphasise those dark patches. And I'm thinking we might try a little bit of chocolate at the top of his eye here. Bring that round. I know what it is. It's because owls have round eyes, don't they? Have round pupils. But these are like cat's eyes. But I'm not going to change it because the whole point of this book is it's the other side of the dream. Not meant to be, well, it can be whatever you want it to be, but dreams aren't straightforward, are they? So I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave those like cat's eye slits, but add some of that beautiful chocolate in there, and put some of these markings in. Chocolate round here. Here he comes. I love it when a picture starts to develop the character and he's beginning to come. So I'm darkening up all those deep spaces. And round here. Give him some colour in there. Okay, some more here. Filling in that dark. Around his eye, just do gently a bit of colour there. Okay. I don't know, let me know what you think. I don't know if I made a mistake making those eyes as bright as I did. Just filling in here. I mean, the picture's not finished yet, so you have to give it a shot, don't you? But we can tone it down if I think... Tone it down with some ochres if I think that I've just gone too far. But we'll let the picture develop first. Let him come out, let his character come out, and then we'll see. So I'm just going to keep layering up. Keep playing with the darks and the lights according to where Karolina's put them. And we'll begin to see him develop. I didn't expect, and I'll be truthful, when I'd coloured in her other books, which are all very different to this one, I didn't expect the paper to respond like this. There's no bleed through at all, as you can see. Barely any buckling. I really wanted to do it in some water mediums, and I was terrified that the paper wasn't going to take it, because it's a lot thinner, it feels, than the other books, but boy was I mistaken. So I'm going to carry on with our darks. A little bit of chocolate in there. Let's get those. We've got an even darker colour to come. Bring that round. Bring a little bit in here, just a touch, really lightly, so that we get a nice like beige, warm beige effect there. Oh, we're getting there now, folks. Bit of chocolate here. I was getting a bit worried for a while. I thought, oh no, I've fluffed the page up. I'm being kind to myself, Angela. I am. But I haven't. Look, it's coming on. Sorry, folks. He's coming. I'm going to go back to our brown ochre and put some more of that in there. Okay, a bit more brown ochre down here, in these lighter areas, so it really lifts those up. Let those areas join. Okay, now our last colour, no it's not chocolate, where is it? Here it is. Our last colour is burnt umber. So let's look for those really dark areas which are here. Put a little ring around there. Okay, dark areas. And then we're going to focus on that beak in a minute. And then I have no idea about background. Or how to colour the moths. I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm just rolling with it and really enjoying it, folks. Okay. I'm still playing with those eyes. I need to leave them alone and wait, let the picture build out, up. Okay, this is our burnt umber. We could even, well, I was going to say we could put black, but I think we will. We'll just deepen up the bits that are meant to be really black. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Just doing down here. Okay, we've got really dark bits under here. We'll bring those out. Oh, he's beginning to look really cool, I think. He's really coming on. I hope you like him. We're getting there, people. It's just, I'll go off camera and play so that you're not sitting here. You can see all the colours and where I'm placing the darks and the lights. I'm going to go back to our very light colour, and which was brown ochre, and just blend all those in together. Here we go. Just so he's got a little bit of that ochre in those very palest parts. I don't want to obliterate our water paint. Sometimes I do, it just helps me to get going on a page if I find a page a little intimidating. Put a little bit of pale watercolour down and roll with it. It just takes that whiteness off the page, that scariness, and helps you get going. And I know a few others of you feel the same way, because you've told me in comments that you do the same. You know, pan pastel or something very light just to take the fear away. Okay, more ochre down here. I don't know, let me see. The palest like beige colour we've got is felt grey. Did we have felt grey out, people? Let's have a look. I can't remember. I think we possibly did. No, here we are. So we didn't have felt grey, so we can introduce that. So a little bit of felt grey in these areas, because it's very pale, but there's a beautiful, like you can see it coming, beautiful like beige. Beige, we don't need too much. Okay. It'll just help us blend and merge all those deeper colours together. Okay. Up here. Yeah, that's looking better. Okay. I'm quite pleased with this. I'm quite pleased with how he's turning out, folks. Right, let's have a look at this beak. Now I'm gonna take my Prisma black. No messing, folks. All right, and I want this. So I've got. Let's come in just because we're focusing on one place. We've got the black Prisma, and I've got the gunmetal. So where we put that white, I'm going to take the gunmetal, and I'm going to go over where the beak starts to fade out into the fur. Go over that white. That gives us our highlight. And then I'm going to take my black Prisma, and we're going to really darken up the tip of that beak and let it fade out. This part of him is quite dark. Deepen up around that highlight. There we go. Right, back to that gunmetal. Let's fill this in. I might need some more of the black, but hopefully this will. Yeah, it works really well with the Prisma. There we go. And deepen up round here a little bit. Not so much grey, just a highlight. Go back in with the gunmetal. Okay, and then when I've finished the rest of playing with the browns and the colours we've used, I'm going to go in with the black and deepen up even further. So, like under here, I'm not going to do it all over because I haven't finished yet, but just bring out some of that really dark, like that. If I do it now, it'll just spread into all my colours. So I'm going to go off and finish Mr. Owl off, and then I'll come back, hopefully have an idea of how we're going to do the tree and the moths. And we're nearly done again. Alright folks, see you in a second. Okay guys, I finished faffing. I didn't actually do that much. I just took my black Prisma, wherever I've thrown it, here, and deepened up round some of these areas and really lightly just filled in over the brown just to give it much more depth and bring him out. I'm really pleased with him. I think he looks lovely. So I took an Arteza, let's come in. I took an Arteza white gel pen and I took the 0.6 and gave him a little bit of highlight. And the reason I did that was kind of, well, he needs a highlight, but also to round off his eyes a little bit. Now, I'm crap with light. I don't... I'm sorry, Angela. I'm learning about light. So I'm not very good at it, but I was quite pleased with how that turned out. I might just put a little smidge of white up his nose too. There we go. Alright, we've got this tree. Now, I've had to pull the Derwent Colour Soft out because I don't want the tree to be lost in the... let me just tip you a little bit because I can't get all my book in. There we go. I don't want the tree to be lost in the owl. So I've just got two colours, and I've got Brown Earth, and these are the Colour Soft, sorry. Brown Earth C630 and Pale Brown C530, and they should complement each other. So where we put our dark colour in, I'm going in with that. Oh, they love this paper. Oh, Brown Earth. I'm going in with that dark that. It's got a redder hue, so hopefully we won't lose the tree with our owl. And then I'm just going to go in with Pale Brown. This is a gorgeous colour. I love this colour. And just merge the two ink tints and those colours that we've got. So nothing too taxing. Gosh, they really love this paper. That's like colouring with a Prisma. But then again, like I said, I don't know if that's because I have put down water first and it changes the composition of the paper. I don't know. But they do love it. Look at that. Goodness me. And then I'm just going to blend in that, what do we say, Pale Brown into nothingness. Just so that lovely intense colour that we put down, they all blend in together, and then just deepen up this edge here. There, so I don't think we'll lose, the owl is what I'm trying to get out, my words, with this way of, these colours I've chosen. Come on Lucy, you can speak. Sorry folks. Alright, we're going to come up here, but I'm just going to lessen off the pressure. And then we're going to take our Pale Brown and blend that out into the ink tints. Oh gosh, are you all in shot? I hope so. And just lift off that pressure and let it fade into the ink tints colours we used. Deepen that area up around here. Oh my gosh, they do love this paper. Come up into there. Won't hurt. Just really highlight those texture on the branch. And again this bit, but this will be very dark. And here. And I'm going to bring that texture down. I'm not going to go too dark at the moment. There. Okay, then we're going to take our pale brown and blend that in. I'm going to put those, deepen that up and just bring it down into those indication of texture that Karolina's given us. So cool! I love this book. Okay, dark round here. Add in there. Then we're going to take our pale brown. Same thing. Oh my gosh guys, I can't recommend this book highly enough. So I've used the Pro Colours, they worked. I've used the Prisma, works beautifully. I've used the Coloursoft, they love it. I can't guarantee, so this is just my opinion folks, so I can't guarantee that without putting the water down there first, that all these pencils would respond as well. I don't know, we'll have to do more testing. But all I can say at the moment is that they are loving life on this paper. It's just an absolute pleasure to colour in it. It's just incredible. Look at that. What do I do there? I wonder if it put a little bit of that. I'll just fill that in. Okay. And then we've just got this little top. Now I'm thinking about the moths, and I'm thinking, if you saw my review, I got the Colour Tint by Spectrum Noir. Now, I'm thinking we should try using those for the moths because they'll be muted but beautiful. What do you think? It's a plan, folks, it's a plan. And we can always add other pencils if we want to brighten them up or layer them so that they brighten up. Okay, we've got this little tree to do here. Now, this didn't have hardly any water on it, and I know these bits didn't, so we can see how they work then. Put that up there and fill that bit in. So, just as well. They're working just as well. No resistance. No squeaking. There, okay. Let's come out a minute just so you can see, so you're not focused on them great big bright eyes for a minute. What do you think? I am so proud of this page so far. Let me put those to one side and my ink tents pile to one side. Now, this is my Ruby Charm Big Book of Colour Charts, which is available on Amazon, and when I did all the wet, you know, the wet colouring pens that I got, I did those too. So we swatched these together, didn't we? So these are, we've got Nature and we've got Primary. So to go in with our page, let's come out a bit more so you can see. I want it to blend with our page, but at the same time have some difference. So what about, I don't know, what do you think folks? We could have Blueberry, Ocean, Deep Mauve and Blue, whatever that says, or Heritage Blue, that's pretty. They're all lovely. So what about, let's look. What about we do, I like the Heritage Blue, where's that? Which set's this? This is the Primary set. So I like the Heritage Blue. Where is it? Heritage Blue. And I like Ooh, dusky lilac. It's got to be it. My hands aren't working. Dusky lilac. And blueberry. Blueberry's nice. Let's try those two colours for starters and see how we get on. So, which moth should we do? Let's do the moths down the bottom here. Let's zoom in. Okay, now I haven't activated these on paper, so this is blind. I usually do it on my board and then go in, but we're going to try. So, which is the darkest of our two colours? The dusky lilac. So I'm going to go in. Are we close enough? I'm going to go in with the dusky lilac. Now these are our equivalent to Derwent Graphitint. And they will activate when you put water on them. So let's try, see what happens. Oh gosh, why do I do this to myself? It's like torture, people. Okay, it's just a little moth. If it doesn't work, we can cover it with pencils. Okay, you ready? Alright, let's activate that colour. There, aren't they pretty? It's a bit too much water on there. I'm just going to soak it up. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Going to let that dry. And then we are going to do the other wing. Where the dark lines are is what I'm doing. Because this is our deepest colour. And then we can always go in with pencil if we want. Over the top. So just filling that bit in. Let's activate that. I want to make sure my brush is not too wet. Can you see just how beautiful? Look at them. Aren't they gorgeous when they're activated? Look at that. Right, I just want to check that hasn't gone through. Nope. There we are. Can you see? No, you can't. No bleed through whatsoever. This book is incredible. And we are going to do the same on the bottom wing. And then we're going to mix it with that gorgeous heritage blue when it's bone dry. And not before. Okay, there we go, look at that. Just so pretty. And they're going to work so well with Karolina's dark lines. Okay, so we can always go back over him. I'm going to have to wait to put the blue in. So let's do the reverse up here. Let's do the heritage blue in the darkest spaces, or actually hang on, got heritage blue. I don't want to introduce too many colours, but let's swap it up. Let's do heritage blue on the darker spaces and see how this works. This one's more detailed. So I'm going to put that heritage blue in. You don't have to activate these, you could leave them as colour pencil. But the colour does really pop when you do activate it. Okay, we'll have that dark there. Okay, this wing. Then we're going to mix a different colour with it. I don't know what we'll choose, but we will. Different colour. Okay, let's activate even this heritage blue. I'm really proud of how this page is coming out. I'm really loving it. I nearly didn't pick this page. Okay, well, it's gorgeous. Just lovely, lovely colours. I did do a review on these and I swatched them out with you on my channel if you want to go and have a look at them. They are the most beautiful, delicate colours. And I brought them in mind with this book. So I'm so glad that I've brought them out. Okay. So we've got, let's have a look. We've got one blue coming on up there when it's dry finally. And I'll just get rid of that notification or it'll keep beeping at us. We've got one blue that will dry up there and one mauve. What are we going to do with these? Have we got any of these gorgeous colours that I could use? Yes. In the primary set, we've got that beautiful, we've got a deep mauve. Let's have a look at that. Where's that? Deep mauve, it's at the end. Deep mauve, which looks kind of pink, but it comes out a lot darker. Then we've got, Chianti in the other set. And I didn't know how to pronounce this, but then somebody said what it was, and I was like, oh, well, of course, Silence of the Lamb. Chianti. Okay, so let's come in on these little berries. There's not too much to do here. So, which is my deepest one? Deep mauve. So I've got deep mauve and Chianti. Now apparently deep mauve is darkest. You wouldn't think it, would you? But looking at my swatches, that's what it says. So I'm going to trust it. I'm going around the edge with the deep mauve. And then I'm going to fill, I'm blending without wetting it, I'm being brave. I'm going to fill the centre with Chianti, and you can see it's lighter, look. Let's see what that dries, what that activates like before getting excited and doing any more. So I'm going to do, as usual, the pale. So activating the Chianti, or Chianti, however you pronounce it. And then that beautiful red on the edge. So everything else about this picture remains subtle apart from his eyes, which I'm loving now. Right, so we said deep mauve on the edge. So we'll put deep mauve around there and Chianti in the centre. And when they're dry, we can always go back in and relayer. There we go. Again, my water brushes. Too much water. No, 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 don't spread on my page. Can I lift that up? It's kind of. Right. That was very nearly a disaster, people. Right, are we dry? Yes. Right, where's the Heritage Blue? Because we're now going to put Heritage Blue in the places that we didn't colour in. On this little moth. Yeah. And like I say, we can, if there's no disaster, we can always add pencil if it is. We might need to like detail with pencil, but let's just see. Let's put this blue in. Mix them in together. I might go back over and deepen up the colours. But I'm now going to put that mauve, or the dusky lilac, in with that Heritage Blue we put. That's still a bit wet, I better wait. Right. So I'm going to have to go off camera. Let's move you out so you can see what's happening. I'm going to have to go off camera, wait for those to completely dry, and then I'm going to layer them back up. So this one will be the Heritage Blue and Lilac in the dark. and this one is Heritage Blue in the dark and Lilac in the light. So I'm just going to have to wait for them to dry, and I'll re-go over that too, and we'll finish up together. Alright folks, see you in a second. Okay, so here he is. Gosh, I'm loving him. He's beautiful. So the colour tint by Spectrum Noir are beautifully subtle, and which is what I want, earthy tones to push out his eyes. But I want to put some detailing in with some colours. So the best colours I could select for these to bring out them were from the Coloursoft range. And I've got Indigo, C300, Royal Purple, C270, and Pale Blue, C370. Now I'm not going to do an awful lot. Let's come in a bit more, just so you can see that fine detail. So I'm going to take our deep indigo, and I'm just going to bring out that the dark lines that we've got in the indigo. So I'm just enhancing it. I'm not obliterating it. I'm just enhancing that colour because they're just a little pale, or a little bit sort of nondescript. And I know that that's what I wanted, but I don't want to lose the definition. Okay. So just kind of introduce that in the hope that, okay, like I say, we keep the definition. So I'm now going to use Pale Blue, and I'm just going to bring that out. I'm just hardly touching the page, just to keep that lovely soft tone that we've got. Gosh, I hope you like him as much as I've had fun doing him. This page has been awesome. Royal Purple. So this would just bring out our deep parts of that beautiful subtle colour that we've got. Can you see? It's just lifted it a little bit. So we've just got... And I could go over with the colour tints, but I don't want to damage the paper and keep you sitting here for 10 million years. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm not going to mess anymore. And then we can move to this little guy down here. Same colours. I'm going to put the indigo in. Honestly, my office, you should see it. It's the stuff dreams are made of, people. I am surrounded by... I've done that the wrong way round. This was deep purple. Never mind, we'll blend it in. So we need deep purple. Yeah, not indigo, but never mind. I'm surrounded by Derwent, and it's the stuff my dreams are made of. Beautiful colours. There we go. That's a shame, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, pale blue. I'm just going to ensure that they've just a little bit more colour. There we go. Right, I'm going to go in with the Royal Purple. Just lifting that and helping to cover that, colour that black, not cover it. There we go. Just a little bit more interest. Take the pale blue. Just going to blend that through. There. Okay, a bit more pale blue. Okay, the little bodies I'm going to do with Coloursoft again, and I've got... Come on camera, you can do it, we're nearly there. Brown Earth and Pale Brown. Gorgeous colours, and I'm going to take the brown earth and fill in the dark spots of his body and his little legs. And then the pale brown, one of my favourite colours, and fill that in really lightly. So he's nice and subtle, but he does have colour. Deepen that up round there. And we'll do the same with this little guy. I've just realised I've smudged my page with that. Oh, look. Oh, I'm so annoyed with myself. Okay, we can fix it. Right, the dark brown on his little body. Okay. And then the paler brown. Okay. Right, now all that's left of this gorgeous page is me to get rid of that hideous smudge, if I can, of those colour tints, and then I'm going to choose some watercolour and we are going to splat, because Karolina's books look amazing with splats. So I will be back in 2 seconds, God willing I can get rid of that. See you in a second. Okay folks, so here he is in all his glory. I relayered over the top of the berries, and I put a bit of white Prisma over the top of the, not that one, this one. I just felt I'd gone too dark. So I've got out my set of Meaden watercolour paints, and I thought we'd test a couple of these greens to do some splats with. I don't want anything overpowering, so I'm going to try this one. I think is sap green. Let's try and have a look at, I just want to see, right, so I've got a spare piece of watercolour paper here. Okay, so that's quite nice. That's quite a nice green. And then, okay, what's this one? Let's try to see what this one looks like next to each other. No, don't like that. Too mustardy. Let's try this one. They look like they might be. Okay. So those two. I quite like those two that we've activated. Okay. So I've got an olivey green. I've got a piece of paper here, this side, to protect the other page. I did manage to get most of that stupid red off. And what I'm going to do is I've got another piece of clean paper and I'm going to protect where I don't want splats. So like there. And then I'm going to literally soak that first olive colour that we got. So my paintbrush is loaded. And you can see where Karolina's splats are. So I am going to splat. Let's lift that carefully. And then where else have we got splats? We've got splats over here. So I am going to just cover up that. And what it does is just disguises those black splats and puts colour in there. And we're going to put a few down here. Let's get a bit more paint. Okay. So we've got those ones. We have to be really cautious and let them dry. Now I think I want a few up here. There we are. A few there. I don't want to overwhelm it, but at the same time I think it looks really cool. Okay, let's get that other green that we liked, that brighter green. I'm going to saturate my paintbrush so it's loaded, put lots of water in there. And then I'm just going to not enough water. bear with me folks, there we go. I'm just gonna drop a few of those, that brighter green in there. Not much. I'll lift it up so you can see when I've done. Come on. I'm going to get a massive splat, hang on. There we go. There we go. I'm not playing, I'm not messing. It's not worth it, people. Right, clean my brush off. These medium paints are really pigmented, which is why I like using them for splatting, because they're a cheaper brand than my lovely Cotmans that I was gifted. So they're perfect for this kind of thing, and lots of other things, of course. Right, I'm going to move my splat paper out of the way because I'm bound to get that everywhere. Shut my paints. Okay, and I'm going to lift it up just so you can see those little splatters. And what it does is, without having to literally sit and paint each one of Karolina's dots, it just gives the illusion that they're all greens. So yeah, again folks, we've finished another page. Thank you so much for voting for this page. I'm thrilled with it. What I would like to have done is maybe a haze around him of colour, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it because I think her pages are better with less, if you know what I mean, so the colour really pops off. I really hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed colouring, folks. I will be back to do our swatching video because my little fingers are itching to use the light fast. So thank you so much for watching and voting and all the support and love you show to me. It is everything to me at the moment. Alright lovely people, take really good care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next day, I suspect. Okay, take care folks. Bye bye.